All right, so now what we're going to do is we have just started editing our course. We know how to move around it and all that kind of stuff. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start editing. Um, if you look right here, first this topic, these are topics, and the lovely thing is the same thing as before. Let me show you the difference. Is so when you come to your class, it will always be like this to start. If you want to start building the class, you're going to have to turn on editing. Edit settings is that other part where if you want to change to weak format or you you want to change something slight about invisible or hidden subjects and topics and all that kind of stuff. So we've got edit settings, and that's this one. If we go back, it's turn on editing. So when we turn on editing, just a second here, when we turn on editing, now all this fun comes up. So if we want to edit this course, we can sit there and click edit this section, and you'll see it's a different for different things on the wheel, and we can see this is welcome to the course. My name is Mr. Smith, and we could add more to it, like I have been teaching for whatever, the 6 years, who knows. And if I want to add in an image, I can just click on the image thing. And this is where Moodle's a little bit not as easy as other places, but you want to just click Browse Repository, and it says Upload File. You want to choose the file you want to upload. You have other choices if you want to. I have a Bitmoji saved here just for this purpose. And I'm going to say welcome to, because I have one that's named welcome one. So now it's going to upload it. I've got to put in my name, welcome to. You can, I really say put in a good description when you're putting in images, because this is a UDL, Universal Design Language thing. So if somebody's using a screen reader, they can know what the image means. I want to keep the size ratio the same, and I'm just going to knock this down to say 300. And you can see how big it is or how small it is. And if you don't like it, you just double click on it. And I'm going to go down to 200. And I want the alignment to be to the right, like that. And then if you want, you can try to move it if you want. The issue is here is we don't have, let me do this here. Oops, hold on. She won't let me move. Is you can't wrap text all the time. So if you start typing here and say, hello, how is everyone? You're going to notice that as I go down or get through, oh wait, maybe it is wrapping text. Oh, I got to undo. I just lost myself. So if I start, you can see it going down each time. So that's a problem. And then I hit space and then start typing again. It's going to go down. So that's one of the issues. So you are limited design-wise, but again, easy to add images, fairly easy to add images and so on. And when you're done, you can just save changes, and you'll see it'll pop up right in here like that. And so now you've made it bigger. See, that might be too big because you see you have a scroll. So you've got to make that decision. It's got to look good, and it's got to be consistent on how you do things. So that might not be quite right. So I can go, it's easy enough. I can just edit the section, go back in, and luckily it's pretty quick and responsive. And then I just go over here and I delete myself out. And then I can delete all this nonsense like that. And I can save changes. Okay, that's how you work in that text editor. Now let's say you have the announcements, you have everything else. You got to get started, right? So the biggest thing is when you're designing a digital course is you have to have an obvious start point. You can have a welcome that says something about you, but I always encourage you to probably your first thing is to go down to these things here. And these are all the things that you can do in Moodle. There's actually more that you can do with plugins, but we're not there yet. And resources are ones that you make and create. Students can just read them. Activities are things that students interact with. Okay, so the first thing you're probably going to want to do is make a page. And you're going to want to say, just start here. Okay, once you make that page, you can figure out what you're going to put here. Like this is how the class is going to, just like the start here page for the remote learning course, that's what you're going to want to do, is you're going to want to set up, this is how the course is going to run. It's going to be in sequential order. We're going to do modules, whatever you need to say, but you obviously want a clear starting point for students to know, clearly labeled right here. Okay, you'll notice also that you can't change text. And when you go to page, this is another key, is it always has a description. That description doesn't really ever show up anywhere unless you click this, and then it would show up. I'll show you. Please click above to see how to start the class, let's say. Okay, and then we go down to the content. So this is the content section. So the content section is everything you want there. The description is the little blurb, and you'll see here in a section, but the content in this case is there. And then again, we've got restrict access activity completion, so you can call this complete when the people look at it or something like that. And so to see what it looks like, did I not? Oh, I didn't put anything in here. So I'll just put something in here. You'll notice that you can't get by because they'll have these little red things, and they'll say, hey, you can't get away with that. And I'll tell you, there's fields required here. So you can't mess anything up, and if you did, you can always delete it. So there you've made a page, okay? So that, and then you can see this is the description that we said, let's show that so people know to go here. You can set it off. All right, we'll come back in a little bit and I'll show you the forum and some other things. All right.